Peter Canavan and Paul Flynn join me tonight, and we start with the meeting of Cork and Mayo, one of the All-Ireland favourites against opponents for whom the threat of elimination was all too real.
Long ball sent inside, just slipped out of the hand inside there, and Cork are glad to gather possession of this with Sean Powder, who comes away with it towards the halfway line now. Left-footed delivery inside towards the main man Hurley. Scored 14 points so far in this group stages. Back as far as Rory Maguire, sends that one in and sends it over the crossbar. Well, the fullback finds himself in an advanced position, and Rory Maguire shows the forwards how to do it. He puts it between the uprights and we're level at a point apiece. Rory Dean brings this one forward towards the attacking 45. Thought he might have a go at it. Ops instead. Ian Maguire down this near side finds Brian O'Driscoll. Back across the centre. This man will certainly have a go. That's Owen McSweeney. And it's gone between the uprights. Owen McSweeney gets Cork's third point of the afternoon.
There are far too many turnovers on both sides, but they can be worked on.
This is Jack Coyne down that far side. Pops the ball away as far as Jordan Flynn. Further out now towards Aidan O'Shea on the 21. Oh, beautiful sidestep here from Aidan O'Shea. Opportunity! Great save by Micheál A. Martin. Out for a 45. Fantastic save. But what about that for a sidestep from Aidan O'Shea? He's disgusted with himself. But look at this. Left the Cork defence in his wake. And a fine save by the keeper. As Colm Reap lines this one up, kicks it and sends it between the uprights. Had plenty more left in it too, as Colm Reap brings Mayo to their second point of the afternoon. Cillian O'Hanlon underneath it, wins possession of it and brings this one forward, does the Cork man. Gives the hand pass as far as Rory Dean. Further inside now towards Colm O'Callaghan. Just couldn't control it first time. Gets the shot in. Sends it over the crossbar. Colm O'Callaghan picked up a yellow card just a couple of minutes ago. Just 1 minute ago. And now scores a point at the other end of the field. Now to Matthew Ruane. And Ruane tries to come forward towards the attacking 45. Jack Carney right towards that far side on the 13-metre line. Lays it back now, and James Carr working it through the hands of Mayo. Here comes Jordan Flynn with the opportunity. It's in and it's over the crossbar. 2 points coming into this afternoon's game. That's his third of championship. Sean Powder pops the ball away, and this is great running from Cork as Matty Taylor heads forward towards the 45-metre line, looks up for the support. There's a man, Ian Maguire, on his shoulder. Maguire finds Rory Maguire. A point for him so far. Is that his second? Yes, it is.
Score.
The Cork fullback makes it 2 points for him and 5 points to Cork, 4 to Mayo, and that a super finish. As Jack Carney pops this one towards Diarmuid O'Connor. They still have 2 wins from 2 as they look to level the game up again, which they do. Ryan O'Donoghue, he's gotten plenty of attention in this game so far. It's his third point, he's first from play, and a fine score. As Mayo have numbers back, it's their turn, Mayo, to have 15 men behind the ball as Rory Maguire pops this as far as Rory Dean, trying to unlock the Mayo defence, running at pace, sending it in and sending it over the crossbar. Super score there, and it is Tommy Walsh, the man from Kanturk, who gets the point. Slow, patient build-up, but it worked. 6-5. As Ryan O'Donoghue pops this ball off. This is a good move from Mayo. Here's an opportunity. Kicked in and kicked over the crossbar. Jordan Flynn with his third point of the game, and Mayo back into the lead.
I suppose fitness and sharpness is going to come into play now here. We'll see who has more work done. You know, Mayo over the years would have been going longer in the championship. Typically their conditioning would have been ahead of Cork. The big challenge is can Cork stick with them?
Here's an opportunity for Tommy Conroy. The bench could play a game, and Conroy, well, he's on since half-time. That was a good sweeping move up the field. Brian Hurley pops this ball towards Cillian O'Hanlon. Back again towards Hurley. Now Stephen Sherlock. Sherlock tries this with the right boot. Super point from Stephen Sherlock. You mentioned when he came on that he's well able to score. Just decided to back himself, put it between the uprights.
Mayo are in, real ascendancy here. Cork with their main man, Brian Hurley, their scorer-in-chief all-championship, leaving the field. It's all to do for them now.
Sure is, as Killian O'Hanlon is in possession. He's given the ball away towards Aidan O'Shea, now towards Ryan O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue has support on his shoulder. Here's an opportunity, chance of a goal. He's buried it to the back of the net. Tommy Conroy, the half-time substitute, has turned the game on its head. The Mayo supporters absolutely delighted. It was a mistake by the Cork defence. Brilliant move from Ryan O'Donoghue, and Tommy Conroy with the finish.
At this stage now, Cork, Barna Miracle are out next weekend.
Colm O'Callaghan comes forward with this one, on towards the 21. Opportunity to respond. Was he pulled back? That could be a penalty. It is. And less than 60 seconds after Mayo got a goal, Cork have an opportunity to reply.
It's right in there. It is inside the square. There isn't a lot. He's going down. The ref gives it.
Stephen Sherlock. Oh, he's buried it to the back of the net. Well, the substitute's really turning this game on its head, and he has brought Cork right back into it. Off as far as John O'Rourke. First taste of action for him. Off towards Ian Maguire. Gives the hand pass inside. Sherlock is through, and Sherlock gets a point. A goal and 3 since coming off the bench, and we're back to a 1-point game. Oh, the kick out has gone straight to Cork. And here's an opportunity for Sherlock again. Sends it in. Oh, he's done it. He's on fire. A goal and 4 points for Stephen Sherlock. Chris Oak-Jones, who's on. Back to Rory Maguire. Now Cork playing forward. Conor Corbett, we're hearing there's going to be 5 additional minutes to be added on. Still loads of time, as here comes the effort from John O'Rourke. It's in and it's over the crossbar. There's Ian Maguire, the same Finbar's man, in possession, gives the ball across the centre, fisted in from Chris Oak-Jones and over the crossbar. And is that the insurance point? Cork lead by 3, 114 to 111. Mayo are back on the attack though, they haven't given up yet. Jordan Flynn going forward, he was on form at the start of the second half. They've won a free in, they need a green flag. Aidan O'Shea's ball drops in. Micheál Martin gathers possession of it. Oh, that was heart in the mouth stuff there as Cork come away with it. There is the final whistle. It is finished. Cork have done it here. Mayo came with their destiny in their own hands. Cork with the victory. Cork 114, Mayo 111.
Today we just came out on top. In a hard-fought game, looked like it was going away for us in the second half, but fair dues to the lads. That's the most pleasing thing, as we've been doing all season. We were in games right up to the end.
By the third quarter, we got ourselves into a great position, but we've let it slip now, and now we just have to grin and bear it now, see what the draw brings, get back up on the horse, and we have to go again now. There's no point in feeling sorry for ourselves. We're still in the championship. It's a disappointed dressing room because, as you know, we were in control of our situation this morning. We've less control now, but we're still in it.
So a huge result for Cork, and one that handed a big opportunity to their neighbours Kerry to top the group with victory against Louth.
First meeting of the size of the championship since 1953, an All-Ireland semi-final. Kerry won that one. Seanie O'Shea's early free, the one that separates the sides here in Portlaoise. This is Craig Lennon. Outside of him, and free as well as Donald McKenny. Room to move, McKenny. This is Samuel Roy. Oh, a chance for a goal for Conor Grimes. Oh, he couldn't keep the shot down, he knows it too. Great opportunity, they're level. Pitch looks in very good condition. In the middle of June, good healthy crowd here in Portlaoise as well. Kerry leading by 2 points to 1. Here's Paddy Clifford. I think the referee's actually blown the whistle before that even went over. Kerry lead 3 points to 1. In the 9th minute, Kerry now starting to take command of this game. Here's David Clifford. Good ball to pick out Adrian Spillane. This is O'Shea. He got the opening point. Now he's got their 4th. 4 points to 1 in favour of Kerry. Reigning fullback, Donald McKenny. Grimes is just above him, and from Glenn Emmets. Here's a chance for a pullback score from Kieran Downey, and they're claiming that was wide, but the umpire says that's okay. 4 points to 2 in favour of the Kingdom. Dara Moynihan. David Clifford, left-footed. Oh, it's a beautiful score from David Clifford. 8 points to 2 now. Kerry playing with a strong breeze at their back in this opening half, and you can see the brown spots across O'Moore Park. A bit of a parched summer so far, although we had rain before today's game. Here's David Clifford again. Oh, that's audacious. What a score. 2 points in a row for the great one. It's 9-2. Coming to the 20th minute mark. Kerry are now scoring at will, have another chance to get themselves into double figures. They've done it. Dermot O'Connor in the 19th minute. Oh, it's an easy takeaway ball by Dara Moynihan to launch this Kerry attack. And look at David Clifford coming up on the shoulder. Chance for a goal! Beautiful finish by David Clifford in the 23rd minute, the opening goal of this contest. It's now 1-11 to 2 points. Well, the breakdown in midfield doesn't work for Louth. Kerry launch another attack. Well, they're streaming forward in numbers here. Kerry might be looking perhaps at another goal here. This is Mikey Breen, and he's forced it home in the 28th minute. It's now 2-13 to 2 points. Kerry way ahead. That's a dreadful return from Louth in the opening half, trailing 2-15 to 3 points, and now Kerry have tagged on those 4 points at the beginning of the second half. Really are bossing this game. Louth yet to register a win in this group. Might be facing another goal here, and they've done just that. Paudie Clifford pushes it to the back of the net. Their third goal, simple as you like, and that comes in the 48th minute. I feel there's more goals, more points in the offing here for Kerry if they want them. They're going to get one here, are they? No, it's a pullback. Substitute Anthony Williams pulls back O'Shea. And the referee decides that's a penalty. So it's going to be David Clifford to take this, and he sends the keeper the wrong way. 2 goals and 4 points now for David Clifford. 4-20 for Kerry. Oh, the big game, Louth, in this championship, but this is where it will end. And a big thumping in a mess match between themselves and Kerry, who are rampant today. There's a chance for Conor Early to get some consolation, and that's their 5th. Just over 10 minutes to go. The goalkeeper's way out of his line. James Colliff. Should be another goal for Kerry. Colliff gets back but can't prevent Shawnee O'Shea getting the goal. That's a goal and 8 for him today. 5 goals and 21 points for Kerry. Just 7 for Louth. All eyes on our referee now. And there goes the full-time whistle. Louth's championship ends. Kerry march on a scoreline of Kerry 5-24. Louth 11 points.
Well, a lot of people were writing off our performance against Cork, but we were delighted with the performance because Cork are going well, and Cork will trouble a lot of teams, and I personally gave them a big chance of getting a result today, which they did. They're a big athletic team, they're well set up, and you know, Kevin Welsh has them organised, and he would have known those Mayo fellas well from playing them with Galway, so that was not a huge surprise that they beat Mayo.
Well, here is confirmation of that Group 1. Kerry, Cork and Mayo all finishing on 4 points, so scoring difference sees Kerry finish on top. Cork in second by virtue of points scored after they finished level with Mayo on scoring difference. So all very, very tight in Group 1. And I think, look, Jack O'Connor is talking about that performance against Cork. Maybe that puts things in context, but not too many people would have picked Cork to beat Mayo today, Peter.
You're wrong there. Jackie, we came in this morning and you predicted that Cork would win. The vibe down there, you said, was pretty good. They were a team intent on going places. That was very evident today. And I tell you what, there's a couple of things about Cork that have stood out in the 3 games they played. In the previous few years, you would have labelled Cork that when the going got tough, they would throw in the towel. Fitness levels wouldn't have been one of their strongest points. They have finished their 3 games. The game against Louth, they could have lost. Against Kerry, they were 6 down. They didn't throw in the towel. They finished that game stronger, even though they lost it, and they had a man down for a while as well. Today's game, 6 points down at a stage. The game looked over. Somebody in the commentary might have said, you know, there's no chance of Cork coming back. So that heart, desire and a physicality, there's a really edge to their game now. So a win that was thoroughly deserved. Yeah,
well, look, let's drill into the detail on it then, Paul, because a lot of it comes from that defensive structure and the way that they set up allows that platform to move forward.
Yeah, and look, it builds off the previous performance against Kerry. Defensively, they're very sound, they're getting turnovers, but it's not just a good structure. It's the attitude, it's the identity and character this team have now built. The minute they get the ball over, they're transitioning it quickly and they're getting scores on the other end. And that's the difference probably in this team. Ken Walsh and John Cleary have done a fantastic job with the overall unit, but it's working in sync, and that's what you really want. Get the turnover, be able to then counter quickly and create scoring opportunities. Okay, some of the Mayo play was sloppy and they were bringing themselves right into the heart of where Cork wanted them to go in the centre channel. O'Driscoll blocking things up, Powter there blocking things up, but the minute they get the turnover, they want to go and attack again. Again in the second half, we see it here, a great turnover in the corner, and this goes all the way down the far end of the field, and Hurley gets a one-on-one, and this is, I think, this is his last impact of the game, and he has to come off when a great score on his left. So, look, it's the fact that it's all in sync. It's the great defensive structure at the back. They now have the identity and the character, as Pierre said, to be able to close out these games. But it's the fundamentals now that's really that they're building on at the back that's making them such a sound team.
What about Mayo then, Paul? Because you heard, I suppose, Kevin McStay there talking about just their own shortcomings and how they're going to have to rebuild. Because there's no doubt about it, there are some holes in what you've seen there today.
There are. I'm going to take a look at this now on the iPad. Look, I guess we've known for a while now that Mayo have been struggling against a set defence, and they knew themselves coming into today that they were going to be playing against a really organised defensive organisation with Cork. Here you can see the first clip I'm going to show you. You can see they've got the ball at the 45-metre line. Cork have all their players back, but they're just transitioning right across the lateral. Okay, when they get the ball here on the wing, Kearney gets the ball to Coyne. I want to see them really attacking the corners. They did it at times, but not enough. Getting the ball into the corners, because what will happen here is that the sweepers that Cork have will have to shift across because they'll smell danger. They'll think that there's a goal threat. But no, what happens is that as this play develops, Coyne goes straight through the centre channel, like what we've seen in the previous clips, and Cork get the turnover. This happened so many times in the first half and in the second half. Again here, what we see is, look, they have the ball on the 45. They've got good structure. They've depth in the full forward line, which is what you want to see. They also have width in their play. But they're just transitioning the ball right across this 45 without probing. They really need to be probing this Cork defence to shift them. The ball comes to Ruan. He doesn't really look up, but he should be just shifting that ball across to Jordan Flynn without any play of the ball. Just move the ball quickly. Again, Flynn, he looks up, nothing on, but keep going back the same wing. He doesn't. He comes back across to 45, and then he gets the ball to Durkin here, and he runs right into the heart of the defence again. And it's just, they need to be shifting the ball down one wing and then creating space on the other or in the pocket. And we've seen some good play. Jordan Flynn was brilliant in the second half, and this is a brilliant play. It's not too difficult, but they get the ball right into the corner. And what happens then is they create a little pocket of space for Flynn, who comes on the burst then and just gets that little pocket. That's all you want as a forward, is a little pocket like that, and he slots it over. He got 3 or 4 of these scores. He got 4 scores. We got 3 of them in the second half as well. Conroy got some space in that third quarter where Mayo got 1-6, but they're not doing it enough. And they're going to play against either a Donegal, a Kildare or a Galway next week. We don't know what the draws tomorrow. And each of those teams are going to set up defensively, so they haven't got time to figure this out. So it'd be concerning for McStay, but he's got a bit of work to do.
Yeah, look, that's the crack with what's coming down the draw. What about this Cork team then and the bench impact? Peter, you mentioned it in the last couple of minutes. This is when Cork are really finding form. Stephen Sherlock, key man for them too.
Well, John Cleary would have come in for some criticism for not starting this man, but as long as he comes on and performs like this, you can see why. The game's opened up more, Jackie, in the last 15 or 20 minutes. And okay, there was question marks over whether or not that was a penalty. It still had to be scored. This man's off the bench. That's clinical. That was struck with confidence. And again, this score here, in fairness to Cork, they know who the shooter is. Their forwards are always told, give it to the man that's going to kick it over the bar. But Sherlock was out in midfield when breaking ball, and in this case, he was the provider as well. Finishes with Chris Jones tapping it over the bar. So without a doubt, the bench made a massive impact. And again, you've got to give John Cleary serious credit.
And
for
John
that.
O'Rourke got a point as well coming off the bench. 1-6 to no reply. And they also pressed up at the end on Mayo's kickouts, which they bared a lot of fruit from. So look, brilliant from Cork, but a little bit of work to do for Mayo for sure.
Were they also, I suppose, on the right side of things in that potentially they could have had a red card today, Paul?
They could have. Look, it was amazing when initially it happened. Didn't really kind of notice it, but obviously then you see the replay here. Maguire comes in on Carney. It looks innocuous, but if you see it here, he strikes right down. Doesn't really look like it's going for the ball, or it looks like he could get the ball. Maybe he's going for the ball, but it doesn't look like he could get it.
That's something you'd see in another code, Paul. And I would say the referee, you know, he must have thought it was an open hand, but it was a terrible challenge, and very lucky it wasn't a straight red.
Yeah. Before we move away from that game and look at the Kerry game, then, what's Kevin McStay thinking tonight about Mayo, Peter? Because you have to think they started the day in first place. They were looking like they were flying. Suddenly they're having to go on the road next week. And I'm sure even he thought this would not be the position that they'd find themselves in.
A wee bit like folk on Throne prior to today.
Yeah.
The players everywhere they went during the week, they were thinking ahead, thinking the next game. I don't think too many in Mayo give Cork the respect that they deserved. And they got their answer today. So I'd say Kevin will be scratching his head. But look, his panel is still there. And he has a strong bench as well. OK, things didn't work out. But they'd got themselves into a winning position. They were 6 points up. If that penalty hadn't been given, they probably would have went and seen the game out. So maybe it's a kick up the backside for them at this stage. They will regroup. They are good enough to get back on the horse. But it leaves it much tougher for them now. And again, God knows who they're going to get tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Well, look, what about on the other side of things then? The All-Ireland champions, Kerry, laying down, you know, a big enough marker against Louth. It's hard to know what they're coming up against, but 28-point victory is fairly facile again from them today when you look at some of these scores and the quality of them.
Well, Jack O'Connor's come up against Mickey once or twice before, and I think he paid him the ultimate compliment today because this Kerry team didn't ease off. They pushed, they were really aggressive on the Louth kick-out. Now, yes, they were playing with a strong breeze in the first half, and Louth were wasteful. They had 3 goal opportunities, which they didn't take, and they needed to take them all. But what's the work rate in between the 2.45 from Kerry was something else. This is David Clifford highlighted here, involved in the turnover, but just look at him going through the heart of the Louth defence. And I wouldn't underestimate the finish. So many children will try and emulate that tomorrow, and they will find running at full pace to try and do that is so difficult. Brilliant finish. And again, they were forced to kick the ball long. The breakdown areas, the Kerry bodies were there. Look at in the middle of the screen, Mike Breen running down the centre of the defence. Didn't get the ball initially, but Kerry committed so many players forward. They knew that Louth were going to defend in numbers, but they attacked in numbers as well. You know, 6 or 7 players inside the 20-metre line. Eventually comes to Mike Breen, and he sticks it in the back of the net. So turnovers, the few times that Louth did hit it short, Kerry let them out to the 45, and they were intent between the 2.45, turned them over time after time. And as I say, Louth needed everyone to go their way. They had a few wasteful chances in the first half. But I think Kerry have sent out a message they haven't gone away.
5.25 from David Clifford in 5 games. I saw the guards had to escort him away from the field. Such was the demand for photos and everything. It's reminiscent of this lad, you know, when we were growing up. Just to see some of the scores that he's pulling off there, Paul, are incredible.
He is the superstar in the game, and look, it's great to have him and to be able to watch him and celebrate him. I think he'd be delighted to see that O'Shea is knocking in with 1-8 today, which is fantastic. He got 5 points against Cork too, so look, to have him to sporting act there. But I think Kerry will be probably most impressed and delighted with the fact that there's no more goals as well. They've really solidified the defensive structure, which was the foundation of their success last year, and they've remembered that, and now they're building on that with the attacking prowess that we all know they have.
Well, they'll be glad to get a week off as well. Time for